So here's what I believe to be the secret of the two best golfers in the world last year, right? Scottie Scheffler and Xander Schauffele. And it's not the most exciting, amazing thing you've ever heard because it has to do with their grip. But both of them use a grip trainer every day when they practice, right? They have a molded grip and they have wonderful, beautiful grips that match their golf swing already, but they use it on a daily basis just to make sure that their grip is not changing. Because we all know that the grip is what controls the face of the club.
I use my form grip. I get made fun of a lot for this, but I use it all the time. Like Randy said, I grew up with kind of a weird grip, and so we had to fix it over time, and so I use this club as just a little reminder a lot of times just to get my hands in the right position.
So for people at home watching, it's really just saying how important it is to have a good grip and then to be consistent with it. So whether it be using a training aid or maybe like lines on someone's glove.
Yeah, it's your only connection to the club head.
Yeah.
I mean, if your hands, especially if you play round grips, your hands are going to be in a different position. You're not able to feel that club head.
So if you watched the PGA Championship last year, right, Scottie Scheffler gets put in jail, spends a couple hours there. There's a huge delay because of that traffic incident. He gets back to the course, and amazingly, he still can play golf that day. He didn't miss his tee time. He had like 10 minutes before he teed off, and I'm watching it live, okay? He could have stretched, gone to the putting green, hit some drivers, done many different things. The majority of what he did for that 10 minutes is he took out his formed grip trainer, held it in his hands, and just worked, studied, and looked at his grip just to make sure it felt exactly right. And then he hit a few shots with it. So amazingly that day, with all of that, he went out and shot, I think, 67 the first round. Amazing first round. Didn't win the golf tournament, but really showed you how much that grip trainer, how important, how valuable it was to him, as well as Xander Schauffele, okay? So I would definitely suggest that you look into having something like that to get your grip consistent on a daily basis. So what I tend to see a lot of the amateurs that I teach do is when they grip the club, there's a lot of this dancing around right before they go to swing, okay? So their hands are kind of gripping, re-gripping, and sometimes right before they go to swing, their trigger is actually in their grip. And you can see with this giant face, every time I change my grip pressure or adjust, the face is dancing around. And if you look at your numbers on a launch monitor, controlling your face is absolutely the king, the most important variable in any golf swing. If your shots are not flying straight, you have face control variability. If you have some type of pattern of a big hook that happens very consistently or a big slice, you have a grip that is not controlling that face in a consistent fashion. So it's really important that A, we take the right grip and that we do not change that grip, okay? Another fantastic story about just how important grip is, just so I can sell you on something that sometimes can be difficult to work on. We all like to work on starting our lower body, creating lag, things that are a bit more sexy, so the grip is not always that case. Gary Player won 2 majors in a year, and they asked him at the end of that season, how did you do it? How did you have one of the best years in modern golf history? And he goes, well, the main thing that I worked on the entire year was to start with one grip and finish with the same grip. So he would literally check his grip after he swung to make sure it hadn't changed. And I guarantee if you look into that sometimes, your grip could be changing. Okay, so the best way to go about doing this is you gotta first take a look, am I doing the right grip, okay? So come on in here, Aaron, let's take a look. I got a great drill from Martin Chuck. I spent some time with him last week, and I've spent years trying to coach the grip. He gave me one where you notice I have these black lines on my index finger, all right? You can see here, I've got these lines just drawn in the first crook of my index finger, and then take a look at the back side of this grip. Right at 6 o'clock, you see a white line on the back. You might not all have that on the back of your grip, but just imagine a line directly on the underside of your club. All you need to do here is I'm gonna take that black line and put it directly on that white line to establish my lead hand, and then I'm gonna take that black line on my other index finger and I'm gonna put it right there. So that's the first thing I do. Now I start to close and form my grip, okay? So we know most people, when they grab it, they tend to grab it in their palms. It's more how you hold a tennis racket. It's not how we hold a golf club to create the most leverage and consistency, Okay, so start right there, put it on like this, and that'll ensure, number one, that the club face is perfectly square as you go to take your grip. Okay, so from that point on, some of the things that we can start to look and do is, am I changing that grip when I swing? Okay, and that's where maybe investing. What Xander and Scottie do, they have a 7-iron that they just put a formed grip on. I use this Perfect Grip by Mark O'Meara, right? And I can attach it to any club. So it's very similar to that, just for the fact that, you can put it on your sand wedge, your driver, your 7-iron. It's an old grip trainer, but it's amazing. They have a junior version, they have an adult version. So once I get those black lines right on those spots, I know my grip is consistent. And because of all the ridges and stuff that go along here, I will feel if I change my grip, okay? What you want to try and do when you're out there, because we have to move, the last thing that you want to be moving is your hands dancing around on the grip, because remember, the face is changing with every movement. So what we want to move instead is we move our wrist, maybe in a waggling motion, to make sure they're nice and supple. That's how all the power transfers out of these levers as we release the club through the golf ball. The other thing you want to move is you want to move your feet a little bit, right? You see kind of some of the pressure movements in my feet. My feet are what allow my body to move, okay? But definitely do not be that person that's gripping and re-gripping, or make sure, sometimes people start pretty good, but somewhere along the lines, they start to change their grip as they go back. And now that face starts to change. Especially if you're one of those people who you hit a ball, you hit it straight, you get another ball out, you hit it, you feel like you made the same golf swing, but the ball flies way left or way right. I guarantee your grip changed. So one of the most common drills that I do, and I do it with many of my low handicap players because they tend to have a tendency to change their grip, is you get up, set up to a ball, strike it, bang, all the way through, and then from there, check your grip again to make sure it hasn't changed, right? That you started and finished with the exact same grip, just like Mr. Player did.
Hey, it's your coach, Zach Allen here. And if you'd like to permanently eliminate your slice, add 20 or more yards to your drives, and make consistently flush contact swing after swing, then I've got just the thing for you. I'm about to show you a method that will fix your swing fast. In fact, we often see huge improvements on the very first swing. Since I don't have enough time in this short video, I've put together a 3-part mini clinic where I walk you through the exact process, nothing held back. I call it the One Swing Fix, and you can get the entire thing free of charge by clicking the link in the description below. The training isn't available anywhere else, so go ahead, click the link right now, and I'll see you on the other side. All right, now let's get back to today's lesson.
So obviously I know the grip isn't necessarily the video that gets all the clicks in the world, but I'm telling you, if there's any consistency in your game, the easiest and quickest way to fix it is by checking and ensuring that your grip stays the same all the time. Learn from Scottie Scheffler, learn from Xander Schauffele. It obviously works with them. That also keeps our golf swing from getting into any odd or weird habits. Meaning, if you consistently have a closed face and you keep hitting balls because your grip attachment isn't correct, you're gonna start to compensate in so many different ways to try to make that ball go straight. And I'm talking within a few swings of doing a bad grip, those compensations are gonna start to pile up. If you have a grip that has the face very open, you're gonna start to do a lot of things to square that thing up. Instead of just getting to the root, getting the grip right, getting the face square, and then keeping it there. So take a note from the 2 best players in the world. Check your grip out. I hope that helps. I really hope you guys enjoy the content that we put out here on a weekly basis. I have an email list down below too that I'd love you to have to sign up for. There's many free golf tips, many things that are helping golfers all around the world. We're also going to start to implement some golf schools next year, so stay tuned for that. We've got live golf schools that you can come out and work with me in person. We've had some great success already with golfers in 2-day schools, literally transforming their games in just that 2-day period, something that I don't see in your typical 1-hour lessons. In a fully immersed 2-day experience, we're really seeing golfers change over a rapid time, things that they haven't been able to change or fix in years and years. So thank you for your support. Don't forget to like or subscribe. And if you got a friend that has a bad grip, send him this video. Have him check it out so he can start hitting the ball a little bit better. Have a great day, and I'll see you next video.